They say some places remember. The walls, the stones, and the earth hold onto the darkness of what happened there. Imagine stepping into a prison so drenched in hatred that the air feels thick, as though something unseen is watching, waiting. Now, imagine that within those walls once lived a man who embodied evil itself. A man whose very presence was said to bend reality, causing lights to flicker, doors to creak without cause, and shadows to move when no one was there. Karl Panzram was not just a name in a dusty file. He was a nightmare made flesh, a man who left behind not only victims, but a chilling legacy of terror. Today, we're going to journey into his story, but beware, this is not just history. Some say his spirit still lingers, searching for something or someone to torment. The story of Karl Panzram begins in darkness, a childhood shaped by cruelty, neglect, and violence. Imagine a farmhouse in rural Minnesota, battered by winds, the sky always gray, and a young boy, Karl, forced to labor in the fields at night, starved, beaten, and chained like an animal. He would later write that by the age of 5, he was already a liar and a thief, and that each passing year only made him meaner. But few knew that behind his icy stare, something far more sinister was growing, a seething hatred for the world, and a taste for pain, both inflicted and received. Those who met him described a presence that chilled the room as if the temperature dropped when he walked in. And when Panzram looked at you, it wasn't just a glare. It felt like something deeper, colder, staring into your soul as if he could see your darkest secrets, and wanted to use them against you. From an early age, Panzram found himself locked away in places like the Minnesota State Training School in Red Wing. A place meant to reform, but it created something far worse. Staff members there ran a secret workshop known among the boys as the paint shop. It was said that boys sent there never came out the same, bruised, broken, and silent. And yet, long after Panzram had left, rumors swirled of phantom footsteps echoing in the empty halls and unseen hands slamming doors shut. Guards reported strange noises coming from empty cells, and some claimed to hear a voice, low, growling, and full of rage, muttering obscenities in the dead of night. But perhaps the most chilling account came from a night guard, who swore that one evening, as he made his rounds, he saw a figure standing in the shadows of a cell that should have been empty. And when the figure turned, he said, it was Karl Panzram, his eyes glowing faintly in the dark. But Panzram had been dead for years. Panzram's life was one of unyielding violence. But what if his rage transcended death? After escaping from prisons across the country, Panzram's trail of destruction stretched from Oregon to Angola, leaving behind a wake of devastation. His time aboard the yacht Acasta, where young sailors vanished without a trace, has given rise to ghost stories among modern fishermen, who claim that on foggy nights, a phantom yacht drifts silently across the waves, with dim lantern light and figures that never respond to hails. One sailor recounted a chilling encounter. It was around midnight. The fog was so thick you could barely see your hand. Then, out of nowhere, a ship glided by. But there wasn't a sound, not even the waves lapping against the hull. And as it passed, I swear, there was a man on deck, watching us. His eyes, they glowed faintly, like embers. They call it Panzram's ghost ship, and some say if you see it, you're marked for death. Panzram was eventually captured and sent to Leavenworth Penitentiary, where he promised to kill anyone who bothered him. A promise he fulfilled with brutal precision. But what's more disturbing is what still lingers in that prison today. Guards and inmates alike have spoken of unexplainable phenomena. Cold spots move through the room, angry whispers, and worst of all, the sound of chains dragging, though no one is there. Some guards refuse to enter the old laundry room, where Panzram killed a man with an iron bar, claiming to hear the clash of metal and a voice cursing in the shadows. One former inmate wrote, "I don't care what anyone says. That cell, his old cell, it's haunted. At night, I'd hear him laughing. Not normal laughter, something broken, hateful, and sometimes I'd wake up and feel like someone was standing right over me, breathing down my neck. What's worse, those who spend too much time in that cell have reportedly gone mad, rambling about a man in the corner who won't stop staring. Panzram's final words before execution were chilling enough. "Hurry it up, you Hoosier bastard. I could kill a dozen men while you're screwing around." But here's where it gets even darker. Even after his execution, Panzram's presence never truly faded. In the years that followed, strange occurrences became commonplace in Leavenworth. Guards patrolling the corridors at night spoke of an oppressive force in the air, as if the very walls pulsed with a lingering malevolence. Some inmates reported waking up to find deep scratches on their arms and legs, wounds they swore weren't there the night before. Others would wake in a cold sweat, hearing guttural laughter echoing through the stone hallways, laughter that matched the descriptions of Panzram's own, hateful and cruel. One of the most unsettling stories came from a prison chaplain, who claimed that during a late-night walk past the old cell blocks, he heard a low growl coming from within one of the empty cells. As he peered inside, he felt a force slam into his chest, knocking him backward. The chaplain left Leavenworth soon after, refusing to ever speak about what he had experienced. But the most terrifying stories come from those unlucky enough to be assigned to Panzram's former cell. One former prisoner, who spent 6 months locked inside, later recounted his experience in a letter smuggled out of the prison. "There was something in there with me. I don't care what anyone says. At night, I'd hear chains dragging across the floor, but when I looked, nothing. And I swear to God, sometimes I'd feel someone breathing right next to my face in the dark. It got worse the longer I stayed. My mind started breaking. My dreams were filled with eyes watching me. By the time they moved me to another block, I wasn't the same man. None of us were." And then just when people started dismissing these stories as paranoia, something happened that sent chills through the prison. Recently, during renovations at Leavenworth, workers unearthed a hidden compartment in the prison walls, containing a journal that no one knew existed. Pages filled with hateful words, but also something more. Descriptions of visions he had in his cell. I see them every night. Their faces. The ones I put in the ground. They stand at the foot of my bed, staring, never speaking. I hear them when I close my eyes. I hear them even now. Did his demons haunt Panzram, or did he become something unearthly himself, destined to inflict his terror from beyond the grave? And if so, what happens to those who dare enter his domain today? So the next time you walk past an abandoned prison or sail in the fog near Long Island Sound, remember this story. Because some spirits never rest. And if you hear a low growl or feel someone watching you when no one's there, it might just be Carl Panzram, still seeking his next victim. What do you think? Could the darkness Panzram carried in life have survived beyond death? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, watch your back.